It would not be surprising to discover that the trade routes between China and the West were opened many centuries, even millennia, earlier than 200 BC, contrary to what currently is believed. Well, why would it not be surprising? I read this, I'm like, well, why would it not be surprising to discover that this was opened even earlier than what we currently thought? Like, I want to know.
Mhm.
After all, oh, they're going to tell me. After all, what made the Great Silk Road so attractive as a trade route linking China and the West, level terrain, easily traversable mountain passes, and desert oases, would have would also have made it an attractive route for the original immigrants to China from Africa and the Middle East. And this early migration began at least 1 million years ago. Interesting. So, what is our conclusion here?
So for this question here, I had a lot of trouble kind of finding the conclusion, essentially like finding the opinion, but I feel like the first sentence
Oh,
would
yeah.
be the opinion of the person.
Where do we have some where do we kind of have some where can you find the premise in here? Do we have an indicator word for a premise?
Um, so, what? After all is an
Yeah,
indicator word.
we're saying like after all, or this is why, or for this reason, right? So after all this, so this is saying like it would not be surprising. And it would not be surprising is definitely an opinion. Like if I said like I wouldn't be surprised with this, like I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron James was MVP this year. That's my opinion, right? Let me tell you why I would not be surprised.
Mhm. Okay, that makes sense.
Excellent.
So
Okay.
then,
But now we have to go on and we're going to see that the migration from America and the Middle East to China occurred at least 1 million years ago. Figures in which of the following ways. So, what kind of question is this?
so in an immigrant, it wouldn't be not parallel reason. So
Well, tell me,
method of reason.
what is this question asking you to do? In your own words. Don't even tell me what question type it is. Just tell me what it's asking you to do.
Trying to figures in the above reasoning in mission. It's trying to have us kind of like conclude the reasoning of the first sentence there, that migration from Africa.
Yeah. So this is what we call a role question.
Oh, it's a role. Oh.
ROLE. Yeah, because it uses the word figure. So it's saying like, hey, this statement here figures in which of the following ways. So it's like, what does the author use this for? So if we look for the sentence here, which is the migration from Africa and the Middle East and China. So
So what's the best way to approach a role question?
yes. Okay. So what we want to do is predict the migration. So the original for the okay. You want to go and ask yourself, whatever sentence it is, what is the relationship between that claim or that part of a sentence and the conclusion? So our conclusion is that, so what would you say is the relationship between those and our conclusion in your own words?
My apologies, I was just writing that down.
Nope,
But
you're good.
what is the claim between the return against the China from Africa and the Middle East? I feel like
Why does the author include it?
kind of like supporting information to show the, I would say kind of to show what is the word for it? The like age of the immigration from
So
China.
what would be a very basic word of what it's doing? What would be like, what part of the argument would it be?
Would it be supporting? Because it
Yeah,
wouldn't.
very at
Yeah.
the very basic, it's support, right, of our
Mhm.
conclusion. And for, since, and because are all premise indicator words too, right?
Mhm.
And so when we say that the original immigrants to China from Africa and the Middle East began at least 1 million years ago. So okay, so let's go ahead and dive into this. So let's start with A.
Okay. It is cited as conclusive evidence for the claim that trade links between China and the Middle East were established long before 200 BC. I
Do
don't
you
know.
like that?
I don't know about conclusive evidence.
Excellent, too strong.
Yeah.
We're saying it would not be surprising. We're not saying like 100% because of this. Excellent.
And B, it is an intermediate conclusion that made plausible by the description of the terrain, along with the immigration supposed, along which the immigration supposedly took place. Intermediate conclusion. I would say no for B, but wait, did you say why?
Yeah, why would you say no to that one?
I feel like when it says an intermediate
Yeah,
conclusion,
is it an intermediate conclusion?
and it's kind of just like it's more like I was saying before, it's supporting.
Yeah, for the original immigrants to China from Africa and the Middle East is not a conclusion. That's
Mhm.
just a fact. Excellent.
But I did have a question. So for intermediate conclusions, could you? Because I feel like I've ran into them a couple times, but I'm not fully sure how to distinguish
Yeah,
those and like conclusions.
after this question, I have a drill. I have something that I'll show you something.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, because every time I've run into those, I'm just like, I do not know how I'm tackling this one.
No worries.
Then C, it is offered as evidence in support of the claim that trade routes between China and the West could easily be established much easier than it is currently believed. I'm gonna keep this one because I like how it's showing evidence in support of the claim.
Excellent.
But yeah, it is offered as evidence against the claim. I already don't like this one. That trade routes between China and Africa preceded those eventually established.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're not arguing against that claim.
yeah.
Excellent.
Then it is the main conclusion that the argument attempts to establish about intercourse between China and the West. No, because it's not the main conclusion.
Fabulous.
So then it would be C. It is put as evidence in support of the claim that trade routes between China and the West could easily have established much easier than it is currently believed.
Mhm.
Then